Will the Senate come to order? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Awa.
Here.
Senator Chang. Senator DeCoit.
Here.
Senator DeCourt.
Here.
Senator Dela Cruz. Senator Elefante.
Here.
Senator Favela. Senator Fukunaga. Senator Gabbard. Senator Hashimoto. Senator Ihara.
Present.
Senator Inoue.
Present.
Senator Kanuha. Senator Keoho Kalole. Senator Kidani. Senator Kim. Senator Lamasao.
Here.
Senator Lee. Senator McKelvey. Senator Moriwaki. Senator Rhodes. Senator Richards.
Here.
Senator San Buenaventura. Senator Wakai. Mr. President,
Present.
all 25 members are present.
Thank you. The chair has read the journal of the preceding day and approves the same. Are there any introductions this morning? Senator Richards.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today is a great honor of mine to introduce a very good friend of mine and commemorate a remarkable milestone of one of Hawaii's finest on her 100th birthday, Kahuna Nui Le Momi Zita Mo'okini Lam, Auntie Momi. Auntie Momi is a revered cultural practitioner, public servant, community leader whose life has been defined by service and kuleana. Born April 29, 1926, Auntie Momi is the current Kahuna Nui in an unbroken genealogical lineage spanning more than 1,500 years, 50 generations, tracing back to the founders of Mo'okini Heiau in North Kohala. For generations, this sacred place has stood as a testament to the continuity of Native Hawaiian culture, and under her stewardship, it continues today. In 1977, she assumed her role as the Kahuna Nui, and then in a landmark thing, in 1978, she made the decision to lift the kapu on Mo'okini Heiau and redirecting it as a place of learning for the children of Hawaii. Through her leadership, the Heiau has become a living classroom, connecting generations of young people to their history and their identity. In addition to her cultural leadership, Auntie Momi was a pioneer in law enforcement, becoming one of the first policewomen here in Honolulu in 1950. She served for more than 3 decades, including in the juvenile crime prevention, and earned distinction for her professionalism and skill. Her commitment to the community extends across education, mentorship, and public service. Both she and I share the fact that we are lifetime Girl Scouts, and she, with her husband, was able to help the Girl Scouts on the Big Island at Kilohana Girl Scout Camp with her husband, who is General Lum, and coordinating between the military and the Girl Scouts to help the Girl Scouts. That's when I first heard of her back in the 60s. Members, Auntie Momi's life reflects the very best of our state: resilience, leadership, and a deep commitment to future generations. Please join me in honoring her and her 100th birthday. She is joined here with her family, friends, many family members, daughters, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Thank you, Auntie Momi.
Thank you, Senator Richards. Any further introductions? Senator Awa.
Mahalo pele kikena, and just in front of Auntie Momi, one of those next generations, the students, the 6th graders from Hau'ula Elementary School, led by Mrs. Sherry Kahavai. Welcome to the Senate.
Do we have any further introductions? Senator Inoue, did you have an introduction?
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I do want to share my relationship with Auntie Momi as well. And I'm sorry, because we have been dear, dear friends, actually, I think, most of my lifetime as a brownie all the way up to working as a Girl Scout leader up till I left high school. And Auntie Momi has been in my district as a former mayor as well, and as my colleague friend who took over Senate District 4 when I left that district to return to my district in Hilo. I've known Adjutant General Lam, her husband, for many years. But let me say about Auntie Momi Lam, though to me she's still young at age 100, up until until today in this decade, Auntie Momi has been a standing star, and the record that my colleague from Kohala and Waimea has mentioned. Mo'okini Heiau has been the telling for generations, but more importantly, when she created the visitation to open up Mo'okini Heiau to our students. But let me tell you, other than that, during the time I was her senator in the district as well, and her daughter, Angela, was my office manager that some of you have met during my term here, that during the time of her care and her active, I'll tell you, this woman goes to the heiau every day when she returns home to Waimea and Kohala. But the telling story that was heartbreaking on the Big Island was when someone stole the Mo'okini Heiau sign. And it was very heartbroken, and I'll tell you, it hurt Auntie Momi deeply because we could not find the sign. And through some time, things happen. All of a sudden, the sign appears again. So unknown to whoever returned it, made life so different for the people of Kohala, particularly Auntie Momi and the heiau, as well as the students that were so happy, and an abundance of kids all over this state that sent communications to her about the loss of the sign. Members, Auntie Momi and the Mo'okini Heiau is so deeply rooted in Hawai'i. There's no other heiau with the care and the history that I hope some of you would have a chance here to go visit. Again, Auntie Momi, God bless you, and look forward to finish the day. And God bless to the ohana who's here, and it's very special for them to be with Auntie Momi and the ohana together. Thank you. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Mr.
Any
President.
further introductions? If not, I am going to call for a short recess as we are racing to meet deadlines. The Ways and Means or Conference Committee is looking at the nomination of Seth Colby as the Director of BNF. It was scheduled for 12:30. If the committee could convene on time, and then we will reconvene when the committee gets back. Will the Senate come to order? Madam Clerk?
House Communication numbers 877, 879, and 880 informs the Senate that the House appointed conferees for various bills, and House Communication number 878 informs the Senate that House Bill 1752, Conference Draft 1, passed final reading in the House.
File.
On pages 3 and 4, Standing Committee Report numbers 3992 to 3994 for one-day notice.
So ordered.
Beginning on page 4, Advise and Consent.
If there are no objections from the members, we will be taking advise and consent on consent. Senator Lee,
Thank you, Mr. President. At the appropriate time, may I be permitted a late introduction?
please proceed.
Thank you. I'd just like to introduce the Vice Chair of the Hawaii State LGBTQ Plus Commission, who's here with us today, Mr. Michael Goliu, I think somewhere up here. Welcome to the Senate.
Mr. President, we're on Standing Committee Report numbers 3937 to 3990 on Governor's messages for adoption.
Is there any discussion? Senator Rhodes?
Mr. President, may I be excused from voting on Governor's Message 709, Raven Sevilla, for Mental Health and Substance Abuse Oahu Service Area Board. She's a current employee of mine.
Please note on that item, Senator Rhodes is excused. Any further discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
With the exception, 23 ayes on Governor's Message 709, all other messages, 24 ayes.
Thank you. The nominees for said governor's messages have been confirmed.
We're on page 17, Standing Committee Report number 3991 on Governor's Message number 801, Vladimir P. Devens, gubernatorial appointee for Chief Justice of the Hawaii State Supreme Court, for adoption.
Is there any discussion? Senator Gabbard?
Mr. President, colleagues, and guests, I rise today in strong support of the confirmation of Justice Vladimir Devens as Chief Justice of the Hawaii Supreme Court.
Please proceed.
Justice Devens brings over 30 years of legal experience to this role, including his current service as an Associate Justice since January 2024. Prior to joining the bench, he built a distinguished career in private practice, focusing on complex civil litigation and appellate work. He's also demonstrated leadership through his service as director on the Hawaii State Bar Association Board. Importantly, Justice Devens is not new to this court. He's already been tested on the bench and has demonstrated sound judgment, intellectual rigor, and a deep understanding of the law. His record reflects careful, principled decision-making and an unwavering respect for the rule of law. Colleagues and stakeholders consistently describe him as measured, even-handed, and collegial. He approaches cases with integrity and professionalism. These qualities are essential for a Chief Justice who must guide the court through complex issues while building consensus and maintaining public trust. Justice Devens has earned broad support across our state. Major labor organizations have expressed their support. He's also widely respected within the legal community, with consistent testimony highlighting his fairness and character. His nomination is also supported by former Chief Justice Mark Rechtenwald. In closing, continuity and steady leadership in our judiciary is critical. Justice Devens brings both experience and a strong sense of public service. He understands that the decisions of our highest court are not abstract. They have real and lasting impacts on the everyday lives of the people of Hawaii. So, colleagues, I respectfully urge you to support his confirmation. Mahalo.
Thank you. Further discussion. Senator Chang,
In support.
please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Justice Devens is a lifelong resident of District 9. He is a proud graduate of Kalani High School, a family man with 3 daughters, and has an extensive record of community service, including volunteering for the Hawaii State Bar Association, as a volunteer attorney for the courts in the community, and in the community as a boxing, baseball, soccer, and softball coach. Something else I've never seen before in a judicial nominee. He became a police officer after he went to law school, serving in HPD for 6 years as a full-time officer, followed by another 28 years as a reserve officer. Nothing against ivory towers, having spent a lot of time in them myself, but this is someone who's walked the beat and understands what life is really like on the streets. Some have raised concerns about his participation on the Be Change Now PAC, which he did not disclose in his application to become an associate justice in 2023. Since then, he has stated his omission was inadvertent, taken responsibility, and apologized to the Judiciary Committee, and disclosed it in his current application for Chief Justice this year. Contrary to news reports, he has never represented Be Change Now, the Carpenters Union, or any of their affiliates as their lawyer. But let's get to the underlying issue. Is Justice Stevens an impartial judge, or does he just parrot the interests of his previous clients and affiliations? We don't have to speculate. Let's look at his record on the bench over the last 2 years. One of his primary clients was the State of Hawaii Organization of Police Officers, or SHOPO, and of course he was a police officer for 34 years. In State versus Zufante, decided last year, Justice Stevens joined the majority in requiring law enforcement to record custodial interrogations. This ensures that police conduct during questioning is documented and subject to review. It is a reasonable, bright-line new rule that promotes greater transparency and fairness to both law enforcement and criminal defendants. Some might be surprised given his background, but as he stated during his hearing, quote, "If there's anyone who should be able to recognize that there was a violation of someone's rights, I hope it's me. Because of my experience, because I was putting criminal procedure into practice as a police officer, that I hope I would have greater insight into whether there is a violation and to make sure that it's corrected." Professor Kenneth Lawson of the Hawaii Innocence Project, one of his early skeptics, testified that Justice Stevens, quote, "approaches these cases the way a good judge should, without ideological preconception, with careful attention to the record, and with a visible willingness to follow the law where it leads, including to outcomes that cannot have been comfortable for someone with his professional history. His reasoning has been rigorous, his questioning and argument has been even-handed, and his written opinions reflect a justice who understands that the stakes in a criminal case for the accused, for victims, for the public, are too high for shortcuts," unquote. When asked what he'd like to accomplish as Chief Justice, Justice Stevens focused on modernizing court operations, addressing staffing shortages, streamlining administrative processes, and ensuring the court can keep up with the greater workload, especially now as the ICA is disposing of cases more quickly. He called for greater security at judiciary facilities. He's sensitive to the historic gender parity on the bench achieved under former Chief Justice Rechtenwald. He also called for a top-to-bottom review of the judiciary to identify and fix inefficiencies while planning for longer-term improvements. In addition, he highlighted deteriorating court facilities and the costs of deferred maintenance. These are the reasons that I believe Justice Stevens is prepared to lead our judiciary with integrity, fairness, and respect, and to ensure the impartial, efficient administration of justice in our state. I respectfully urge my colleagues to support his nomination. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, do we have Senator San Buenaventura, then Senator Awa?
Okay. Thank you, Senate President. I'm just going to make this short. The YouTube video is out. You've heard our comments.
In opposition,
In
Senator
opposition.
San Buenaventura, please proceed.
Thank you. In opposition. You've heard our comments. You've heard the questioning. I disagree with a number of the statements prior people have stated as to what occurred at the hearing. Again, it's on YouTube. To me, a character of a person is determined not when everyone is watching, but when no one is watching. He knew what he went into when he became a member, a director of one of three in Be Change Now. He knew the character of the organization he chose to be a member of. He wasn't hired, he wasn't of counsel, he wasn't an attorney. He chose. He was a decision maker, one of three, smaller than even our small committee hearings. I'm just going to let that stand there, because as Chief Justice, he is the judge above all the other justices. He determines ethics of not only other judges, but also attorneys. he becomes like the governor of the third branch of government. If we choose not to confirm him this time, he will still be an associate judge. He will still be able to do those opinions or join in opinions and make decisions like he did the past 2 years. And I wanted to point out, I asked him twice, once at the interview and once after the hearing, for a copy of his decisions, of what he wrote, and I never got them. So I went online. As an attorney, I have the ability to do that. Found only one written opinion. He joined in a number of others. Only one written opinion. Doesn't mean he's not a hard worker. But when people say you need to be upfront, be upfront. You know, if you only wrote one decision, tell us you only wrote one decision. And don't promise me that you're going to give me copies of decisions and dissents and not come forward with it. Again, a character of a person is determined by when no one is watching. And I'm just going to leave it at that, and that's why I'm going to be voting no.
Thank you, Senator Awa.
Halopele Kikena. Just to speak, following up to the character part of it, which has been under
Is this
question.
in support?
In support.
Senator? Please proceed.
Thanks. What I saw in our hearing was a man who acknowledged that something could have been done better, apologized for it sincerely, and said he would have did it differently. And I can tell you, I haven't been on as long as Senator Rhodes' 70 nominees, but from the judges that have come through the judiciary, I don't believe that there's somebody more qualified who could do the job, or maybe not qualified, but who could do the job as Chief Justice as Vladimir Devins. By the way, this is coming from the lawmaker, the only lawmaker of 76 in here who took no dollars, no PACs, no nothing. This message is not bought or paid for. I'm not on the take for anybody saying that we're supporting because of anything like that. But yeah, the first time he came through, saw an honest man who was the closest representation of the kind of people that we represent. And for us, we feel that, and I hope that he will live up to our vote of support to do what's best for the people of Hawaii, but we believe that he will. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, Senator Inouye?
Thank you, Mr. President. I will be voting no on this GM. And to say that
So in opposition, please
in
proceed.
opposition, I was committed to vote up on this nominee. However, may I ask, Mr. President, that the comments of the Senator of District 2 be included in the journal as if it was mine. The
So
concern
ordered.
that I have is that this GM will be the Chief Justice. And the words of the Senator to also say that he, in my term, he will be the king of the courts. And that's that's very bothering to me as well because of the position that this GM will hold. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, do we have Senator Ihara?
Mr. President, arise to speak for GM 801 with reservations
Please proceed.
and aspirations. Mr. President, this nomination would elevate Associate Justice Vladimir Devins to the position of Chief Justice of the Hawaii Judiciary and its Supreme Court. You know the story by now. It's a political story. And I'll tell you my version of what's going on in the political dimension of this nomination. The nominee was a politically active labor attorney who served on political committees that selected candidates for union endorsements. He was also a fiduciary on a 3-person Hawaii nonprofit corporation board that functioned as a political action committee for a political organization. The nominee did not disclose the name of this nonprofit PAC in his 2023, actually he applied in 2022, but confirmation in 2023, his application for Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, and was confirmed unanimously by the Senate without that information. In his application for Chief Justice, the nominee listed past service on nonprofit boards, but again did not disclose his directorship on the nonprofit board that he was on. Mr. President, this data set has caused some public concern and fear among people. Fear of external political influence on the judiciary and its courts. These concerns signal distress within the system, like red lights from a ship entering a rough sea. Its urgency leads to short-term thinking that focuses on symptoms instead of sources of problems, and has resulted in financial stress for half the community, residents forced to leave due to unaffordable housing, and persistent chronic homelessness. These are outcomes of a political system unable to adapt itself to changing circumstances. Western democracies use competition-based systems to allocate resources, adopt policies, resolve problems, and establish relationships among players. Competitions control to produce efficient outcomes that favor the strong, the smart, the creative, the cunning, and the ruthless. To manage the system's fear and distrust, government is divided into 3 branches to limit their powers, prevent overreach, and control excessive power. Indigenous values-based systems provide guidance by organizing around caring, belonging, and responsible action. Stewardship carries cultural memory that expands each generation's ability to produce outcomes, and stewardship and ability to adapt to the reality of their time. Control systems protect and produce outcomes, and stewardship guides by care. Both are needed: control to survive and care to nurture. Too much of one can cause imbalance and make government wobbly and grow distortions. By happenstance, Hawaii had a hybrid care and control system during the Hawaiian Kingdom. The monarchs were guided by the Aloha Spirit as defined in 5-7.5 HRS, using all 3 branches of their government in collaboration to control by caring and managing government programs by stewardship. This hybrid system fostered stewardship guidance inside a deliberative democratic system. Hawaii governance went all Anglican Western at the 1893 Hawaii Kingdom overthrow, and until 85 years later, when in 1978, the Constitutional Convention installed indigenous values into the state constitution and added stewardship responsibilities to state government to guide government and its systems. I happen to be there, so I know. 8 constitutional amendments installed this stewardship governance guidance system into our Constitution. Responsibilities to care for the land, water, and environment, protection of agricultural lands and marine resources, respect for indigenous practices, revenue from the public land trust received and expended by a single Native Hawaiian entity, mandated funding of Hawaiian homelands, and required Hawaiian language education and made Hawaiian an official language in state proceedings, all new, 1978. That Constitution connected the state to the values of the kingdom that continued inside of a Western competition for the resources system. The move by the 1978 CONCON to embed indigenous values into the state constitution was inspired in large part, I believe, by Chief Justice William Richardson, who led the state's highest court on landmark rulings that it reflected Hawaii's history and values, not just those imported by Western systems. Thanks in part to C.J. Richardson, the 1978 Constitutional Convention reconnected values of the kingdom to the modern U.S. state of Hawaii. And since then, the Supreme Court has faithfully protected the Constitution from laws that harm indigenous values embedded in that Constitution. I believe this GM 801 Chief Justice nomination has enabled new insights into Hawaii politics, political influence, and public trust. Our political system that seems to continue to proceed, it is our political system that seems to continue to produce financial stress among our community. Residents having to leave because they can't find housing, and persistent homelessness. Adding caring, belonging, and stewardship governance seems appropriate now, and perhaps useful to complement the competition system. So we decide not by the competition, but by values. I believe the circumstances of this nomination provide a pathway to create a safe space for returning stewardship governance to our islands. The 1978 Constitution inserted a provision for public funding of election campaigns. Back then, we knew the cost of campaigning was more than family and friends could support, and that candidates had to engage with political stakeholders to pay for their ads, signs, and materials. I believe this Chief Justice nomination and this particular nominee could help focus sustained public attention on political influence in Hawaii, assuming Justice Devens is confirmed today. I asked the nominee that if confirmed, would he endeavor to restore public trust in the judiciary? He said he would not object to this, and indicated an openness to require disclosure of political connections of judicial nominees. In a Devens term as Chief Justice, which seems likely today, I feel there's a possibility of sustained tension and public attention on the boundaries needed to protect and safeguard Hawaii's constitutional officers from outside influence, so that we and they could faithfully perform their duties to the Constitution. If we have values guiding our election system, a publicly funded system, I believe it can be a trust infrastructure in which we live and can conduct our constitutional duties faithfully and free of external pressure, and not as an operating expense. Mr. President, I've laid out my views on this Chief Justice nomination, and with my vote, I will launch my hope and a movement for a community-wide journey to draw boundaries around our constitutional institutions so that we can be faithful to our Constitution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Reservations, Senators Elefante, Senator Keohukalole, Senator Morawaki, Senator Dela Cruz. Any no votes? No votes, Senator Fukunaga, San Buenaventura, Inoue, and Senator Rhodes, Senator Kidani.
Mr. President,
Senator Lee?
could I reach your WR?
Oh, I'm sorry. reservations for Senator Lee as well.
Thank you.
20 ayes, 5 noes.
Thank you. Vladimir P. Devins has been confirmed as Chief Justice for the Hawaii State Supreme Court. Senator Gabbard.
Mr. President, may I be permitted a late introduction?
Please proceed.
I am pleased to introduce our new Chief Justice of the Hawaii State Supreme Court, Vladimir P. Devins. Would you please stand? Remain standing. Chief Justice Devins is joined in the gallery by his wife, Joy Miyashiro Devins, and 2 daughters, Dr. Carly Devins and Lauren Devins. Please stand, please. And Mr. President, at the appropriate time, could we invite Chief Justice Devins and his guests to the floor for photographs?
So, Senator Gabbard and Senator San Buenaventura, late introduction.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Committee of Health and Human Services considered a large number of nominations, for which we had confirmed a large number of them today. And I invite the nominees who attended today's session to please stand and be recognized. Any nominees who have been confirmed, please stand. Come on up. Thank you. Congratulations and welcome to the Senate.
Thank you. Any other late introductions, Senator Kanuha?
Thank you, Mr. President. May we also welcome to the gallery the Governor of the State of Hawaii, Governor Josh Green.
Any further late introductions? Senator Favela.
Sorry, Senator President, it's not an introduction, but rise on personal privilege.
Personal privilege is generally at the end of the agenda.
Confused.
Any other late introductions? Senator Awa?
Just because why not? Might not be able to do it again. Brooks Bear, longtime friend. Welcome to the Senate.
Any other late introductions? If not, the chair has one. Apparently, these young ladies have not checked in with the senator of their district, but directly in front of me, I see what appeared to be 3 Girl Scouts who are here watching our session, I assume getting some type of merit badge. Will you please rise? Please stand, young ladies. Welcome to your state capital. Now, back to the business at hand. We have a lengthy agenda, and I want the judiciary to go back to work. So what we're going to do is recess. Will the sergeant escort Supreme Court Justice or Chief Justice Devins and family or friends to the floor to be greeted and pictures? We were going to wait for adjournment to ask Auntie Momi to come down, but you've lived 100 years. The rules don't apply to you. Will they also escort Auntie Momi down during this recess so we can get our pictures done and then she can go back to taking care of our community and her family? Recess. Will the Senate please come back into order, Madam Clerk?
We are on page 18, adoption of resolutions. Final adoption of Senate concurrent resolution numbers 78, House Draft 1, and 130, House Draft 1.
Senator Wakai.
Mr. President, I move for the adoption of said Senate concurrent resolutions.
Senator DeCourt.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion, any objections? If not, the motion is carried. Said Senate concurrent resolutions have been adopted.
Beginning on page 18, final reading.
If there are no objections from the members, we will be taking final reading on consent.
Conference Committee Report Number 2, Final reading of Senate Bill 2466, Conference Draft 1, relating to the Chief Elections Officer.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? No vote. Senator Awa, Senator DeCourt, Senator Favela.
21 ayes, 3 noes.
Thank you. SB 2466, CD1, passes final reading. I'll ask for order in the gallery so that we can conclude our business.
Conference
I will ask for order in the gallery so that we can conclude our business, please. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Conference Committee Report Number 3, final reading of House Bill 1163, Conference Draft 1, relating to commercial driver's licensing.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. HB 1163, CD1, passes final reading.
On page 19, Conference Committee Report Number 4, on final reading of House Bill 1514, Conference Draft 1, relating to workers' compensation.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. HB 1514, CD1, passes final reading.
Conference Committee Report Number 5, final reading of Senate Bill 3082, Conference Draft 1, relating to military families.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. SB 3082, CD1, passes final reading.
Conference Committee Report Number 6, final reading of Senate Bill 2135, Conference Draft 1, relating to privacy.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. SB 2135, CD1, passes final reading.
Conference Committee Report Number 7, final reading of Senate Bill 2727, Conference Draft 1, relating to discrimination.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. SB 2727, CD1, passes final reading.
Conference Committee Report Number 8, final reading of Senate Bill 3097, Conference Draft 1, relating to the exemption from civil service of executive personnel of the Employees Retirement System.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. SB 3097, CD1, passes final reading.
Conference Committee Report Number 9, final reading of House Bill 1696, Conference Draft 1, relating to commercial driver's licenses.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? Any no votes?
25 ayes.
Thank you. HB 1696, CD1, passes final reading.
On page 20, Conference Committee Report Number 10, final reading of House Bill 2021, Conference Draft 1, relating to transportation.
Is there any discussion? If not, do we have unanimous consent? Any reservations? No vote. Senator Awa.
24 ayes, 1 no.
Thank you. HB 2021, CD1, passes final reading.
Referrals and re-referrals.
Referrals and re-referrals are made in accordance with any supplemental orders of the day that may be filed later today.
Miscellaneous communications. Miscellaneous communication number 6 from the Honorable Ronald D. Kochi, President of the Senate, and Honorable Nadine K. Nakamura, Speaker of the House of Representatives, dated April 29, 2026, transmitting a legislative communication extending the conference deliberation deadline for House Bill 1800 beyond 9:00 p.m.
File.
Miscellaneous business, reconsideration of disagreement to House amendments and motions to agree. Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 162, House Draft 1.
Senator Kim.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate reconsider its previous action in disagreeing to the amendments made by the House to Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 162 SD1 and agree to said amendments.
Senator Wakai.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Senator Kim.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill, this resol is for the DOE to establish Kaiapuni schools in Kapolei, and the House added an action plan and final report to the legislature.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Any objections? If not, the motion is carried. One-day notice is hereby given for final adoption of SCR 162 HD1.
Senate Bill Numbers 2614, House Draft 2, and 3118, House Draft 2.
Senator Kim.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate reconsider its previous actions in disagreeing to the amendments made by the House to Senate Bills 2614 and 3118 and agree to said amendments.
Senator Wakai.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Senator Kim?
Mr. President, Senate Bill 2614 is for high school diplomas for veterans, and 3118 is for interstate compact for military children, and both, we agree to both amendments, minor amendments that was made by the House.
Senator Inouye, would you please hang up the phone? It's not supposed to be having these conversations in session with someone speaking. Is there any further discussion? Any objections? If not, the motion is carried. One-day notice is hereby given for final reading of SB 2614 HD2 and 3118 HD2.
No further business, Mr.
Are
President.
there any announcements today? If not, Senator Senator Favela, did you have personal privilege?
Okay, I don't want to get all shook up, like Elvis Presley. Anyway, I just wanted to make a shout out. Now my phone acting up, Senate President. See what happens. I just want to make a shout out to Lady Sabres. They won the 2026 OIA Division I softball champion, defeating Kapolei. I'm not going to say the score. April 25th, 2026, marking their second league title in 4 years. We had a couple of grand slams, a couple of home runs, but I want to tell Senator Kadani, Mililani giving us another chance to go to the state champions and the OIA champion. Thank you, Senator Kadani. Thank you, Senate President. If I can enter the names later on to the journal.
When you get them to the clerk, so ordered. Any further announcements? If not, Senator Wakai.
Thank you for shaking us up, Senator Favela. I move that the Senate stand adjourned until 6:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Senator DeCourt.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. If there are no objections from the members, the Senate will stand adjourned until 6:30 p.m. tomorrow.